performer tonight, Shneaky, hailing from Huntington Park, California. I'm gonna do some songs for y'all, and then we're gonna have a little interview time, and then we do some more songs. It's gonna be a good time, so stick around. Yeah. This is the life I've chosen, surrounded by shows and flows in, chilling in the lion's den of my brethren, plotting up the warpath, planning murdering, music be diverted, then interrupting Bible hymns, sinking ships with blast from my diaphragm, a PowerPoint diagram, an outline of damage done by my vocal cords, comparing them to ancient samurai swords. When I hit the right note, the body starts to float, walking through the flesh like I'm swimming in the moat. Here come the red coats covered in blood, this MC's childhood smothered in love. Shit ended quick when this lyricist began to spit. People started getting sick, cells began to split. Who would have known upon my head there'd be a hit? And every night I'd wake up to the sound of it. The threat in the concrete jungle, trying to make me breathe my last breath in the hustle, bustle, spin, dive and juke, undetected amongst the wrecks like a CIA spook. If you're gonna step to me, you better be ready. It's known that this MC's flows are deadly. Better step correct, know what to expect. He got the intellect backed by a strong dialect. This is lyrical warfare. Against which you can't defend, you can't comprehend. My friend, this is the end, and I'm a godsend. Yo, sing it with me. This is lyrical warfare. Against which you can't defend, you can't comprehend. Some say it's a sin to be this skilled, swooping in for my next kill. My next kill, I got no sniper skills, but God created me long ago, more than ill, so be still. You lost, you're a lost cause trying to survive, but instead you're living in a lie. I'd rather die than live my life on my knees. That includes living my life for anyone but me. Feel my chi, my energy, and all in the room while I'm spitting sonic booms at lightning speed. If you're in front of me, I'm gonna split you atomically. Bomb on you, Nagasaki, call me kamikaze, run into your soul with my flow, interrupting the signal, causing the collapses of your brain synapses. A last time red, you were already dead. Doctor said from the start, this Richie Jan's beat is not your heart. Time of death places your last breath where the current is. Against which you can't defend, you can't comprehend. My friend, this is the end, and I'm a godsend. Yo, sing it with me. This is lyrical warfare. Against which you can't defend, you can't comprehend. Some say it's a sin to be this skilled, swooping in for my last kill. Thank you, everybody. That track was Lyrical Warfare off of my first album I put out in 2012. It's available on Spotify and Apple Music and anywhere else where you can find digital music, SoundCloud, everything.
That was then,
Track's called
and
Then and
this is now. Everybody has a story for the way they get through.
Here's the story of a young MC who came a long way to where he came to be. Used to play horns in the band LP and rocked house parties in the CPT with his boy Richie, who made fat beats. And they got wasted and partied with freaks. They had long nights and they had long days. He had problems keeping up his grades in the hotel, doing homework after raids, bumping at Adele just to try to stay away. That was then, this is now. Shabba dooba dabba dooba dabba doo bow. I said that was then, and this is now. Shay nays, zippa da bebe, zippa da baboo. That was then, this is now. Zabba dooba da zabba dooba da zabba doo bow. I said that was then, and this is now. Everybody has a story for the way they get down. He used to walk the streets of HP. Now he's on a 3-hour train right back to SD. He used to DJ for free. Now he gets paid in money, pills and weed. Then he has mad pussy. Now he's chasing a degree. Pussy be chasing the MC. He used to have fake friends. Now he's trying to tell his real friends the fakes will come again. That was then, this is now. Shabba dooba dabba dooba dabba doo bow. I said that was then, and this is now. Shay nays, zippa da bebe, zippa da baboo. That was then, this is now. Zabba dooba da zabba da dooba da zabba doo bow. I said that was then, and this is now. Everybody has a story for the way they get down. He didn't know what he was to be. Now he thinks he'll teach history, spreading knowledge and spirituality. He always had a knack for facts. Now he puts his facts on tracks. His bro puts his tracks on wax, no tax. They was just hey snap, alright. Now he's dead center of a stage with the mic, that's tight. That was then, and this is now. Every Everybody has a story for the way they get down. Thank you. Woo. Man,
You hot?
I'm hot.
You're hot?
How did
It's
it
hot.
sound?
Welcome back to
Was
Late
it-
Nights in Islos, episode number 38, season 2.
Season 2.
With Shneaky tonight. Thanks for being here, man.
Hey, thank you for having
Awesome,
me. I
awesome
always appreciate
performance.
you. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoyed Lyrical Warfare. It's my favorite song, and I do have it on Spotify,
Nice.
and it's part of my Katsabatik all-day playlist, so I listen to it all the time.
Tune
And
in.
thanks everybody for tuning back in. Late Nights in Islos, latenightsinislos.com reroutes you to our Facebook page. It's a live stream, our Facebook Live. Tune in every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, featuring the best music of the East Side and surrounding areas.
Woo.
If you want to participate, please contact us, latenightsinislos@gmail.com, or send us a message via any of our social media. That's at Late Nights in Islos, one word, Late Nights in Islos, plural.
Could I get my water real quick?
Yeah, for sure, man. Pobrecito.
I know, I'm over here dying.
Yeah.
Had it somewhere.
Artbook is coming back up this Sunday and every second Sunday of the month. easterlyartbook.org. Please visit us. There also takes you to our Facebook page. For the moment, come stroll. It's going to be a really fun day. It starts at noon, from noon to 6. Go Metro Gold Lane to Indiana Station in East LA. Coming southbound from Pasadena, Highland Park, Chinatown, Union Station in Little Tokyo. And then if you're coming from Atlantic Station, where you can park, ride north on the Metro Gold Line and get off at Indiana Station. There's lots of delicious, authentic eateries that you're going to be able to visit, and then lots of local crafters, indie crafters from East LA, Boa Heights, Montebello, and South LA, Southeast LA.
And I'm going to be DJing.
And he's going to be DJing. He's
Maybe
part
I'll
of-
rap some more too. Who knows?
So this is how we met.
Oh,
We
yeah,
met
that's
through. So a shout out to Rave Sepulveda of
Cultivarte.
Cultivarte Gallery right here in East LA as well. He introduced me Shneaky here because they also collaborate on different events, and Shneaky became part of East LA Art Walk as 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe even December.
December?
Might have been the first one. Or no, January. Yeah, no, I think we
That was
started.
this year, right?
Yeah, I think we started in January.
Yeah. So he took over DJing for us on the other side of the street over by Lucero's Bakery.
Because
So
you're doing such a good job of expanding it,
thanks,
my
thanks.
friend. We're growing out here in East Los. Woo woo!
So some facts about the East LA Art Walk. Someone was trying to shut us down, but I even got the Marines to sign a support letter for us, allowing us to use the front of the space.
Nice.
And then there's a church next door. I'm not religious, and I really don't support the Marines, but at least I know that I got the support of these two entities.
But if
that-
y'all are
that
listening, we
represent-
thank you.
Yeah. You know what? Because they represent a segment of the community. They
Right.
represent the believers, the Christian faith believers, and then they represent the other segment that are a little more nationalist.
Just because
And
we
so-
don't get along, just because we don't agree, doesn't mean we can't get along
No.
and play nice together. You
Business
know
is business. You know, I something that I've been reflecting about, and I'm sorry that I'm going on a tangent from your performance today. Is
okay.
something that I've been thinking is that we talk so much about color lines, but the real color line that exists is green, because it's a classes system.
Mhm.
Those who nowadays, it doesn't matter if you're whatever background you have. If you belong to the elite, you belong to the elite, and you get to partake
Right.
of all these
Right, right,
privileges
right,
that the
right.
1%. So we call them the 1%. And like, what separates us from them? What makes us? And the thing that's happening is that because we, or whoever is able to escalate that ladder, they think that because they're more green, they're better.
Right.
And that's not necessarily true. You know, money does not translate into education or nobility or anything. Green is just green, and it doesn't give you any value, really. It's just material. So
I think I've heard the best thing is that it kind of enhances what's already there, right? Like, so whatever you're already trying to do. So if you're not doing anything, having a lot of money isn't going to change anything. If you're doing positive, having more money will let you do more positive. If you're doing negative and taking advantage of people, having more money will let you be more negative and take advantage of more people.
like someone's
It's not evil in itself. It's kind of like it's
So-
a tool, right? Whoever the person has it, how they use it, you know.
someone that comments on that about is Jim Carrey, who says he's so successful and he has everything materialistic,
Right.
but he says that doesn't make me happy. that you know he came to realize this. And I was like, we kind of already knew that growing
Yeah, bro,
up.
you're late to the party, fam.
But he's now an advocate of, you know, like being less materialistic, and some star was found dead by suicide today. I can't remember who.
Fashionista. Katie Spade?
Yes,
Kate Spade?
Yes. And I'm like, you had everything, like really you were up there where everybody wants to be, and you still weren't able to get over whatever problems, you know, and
that just goes to show you there's nothing better than your mental health, you know, your wellness. That's what you should prioritize over everything.
And that's where what we do, how we do, has such a different impact, because we are doing it out of love, out of passion.
Right.
It's this good energy that, hey, you know, we're not rich materialistically, but I am blessed to come across amazing people all the time, like Ray Sepulveda, like yourself. Thanks again for being here. So Shneaky is a local performer. Is the second song about you?
The second song is about me, yes.
Okay.
They're all about me, technically.
I'll say,
yeah,
I kind of figured. So I listened to his,
I'm a little narcissistic.
to his tracks, and they all have this very personal, empowering message. And I was like, he must have gone through all these things so to be hitting the right words and to be able to transmit exactly what he means to transmit with his lyrics. So I've been enjoying your music, like I said. Tell us about Shneaky. Why Shneaky? How has your company evolved? Because he is now a representative of his own entertainment company, and also a event coordination.
Yes, event production. Yeah.
So
logistics,
please
yeah.
Give us the.
Well, Shneaky in itself, it's always funny to tell this story, because it started off as a joke, as like many great things do. It was just kind of like, hey, you know, I started DJ. I was in a band and I started DJing, and I was hanging out with this girl, and we would kind of like after shows I'd go DJ, but no one knew I was a DJ, so we had this joke that, oh, you're being so sneaky, you know. And then if you ever seen Mr. Deeds with the butler, he's like, never underestimate the sneakiness. He's like a Latino dude. He like disappears and pops up out of nowhere, and so it was like this joke, like inside joke. And then when I started getting more DJ gigs and I quit the band and I kind of was going towards this DJ thing, like it kind of took off. So Shneaky started ending up on flyers, and then people started calling me Shneaky. And then once I started rapping, I was like, well, I already have this name. Why am I going to go try to start? Like, I already have a persona identity. People already can recognize it. So I just kind of kept it going. And now it's like its own thing. And essentially the business side of it came out because I recently just moved back to LA from San Diego, which is what that track was about, because I was going to school out there. And I was going to come back with the intention of continuing education at UCLA and become a professor, but I needed money in the meantime. So I started getting gigs, and my brother had some clients that needed consulting in like web design and photos and like content generation, marketing stuff. So I started taking on these kind of side gigs, and then I'm fun. It's fun, you know, I'm good at it. It's fun. I started like putting together shows, and, you know, met you to like, you know, and so as all of this stuff was kind of just falling into place, I decided, hey, let's make this official. And so I DBA'd and got a business account, and now I'm just kind of like focusing on building this business that's kind of based on really creating platforms for local artists, kind of like what this is, but to like create a network of venues and vendors like Ray who can like help out and kind of be able to sell a full package. It's like, yo, you're an artist, I can get you shows, I can get you merch, we can shoot your videos, because everybody in this Shneaky network, like you said, the amount of people we know is just, we have a little bit of everything. You know, if you need something, we know somebody who could do that. So I'm trying to offer that to local artists who, like we were talking about earlier, may not have access to those resources or haven't been doing it long enough to have made those connects, because at this point I've been doing music for over 14 years in a band capacity and trying to throw shows and all of that. So I've seen some things, I've been around the block, and I have, you know, so when I meet new artists, and there's a lot of them these days because this area is so creatively charged, there's always so many bands and musicians and talented people coming out of our community that like it's always nice to be able to say, hey, like, here's a roadmap. You don't have to follow it, but if you want some help, here's the stuff that I could offer, you know, and maybe we can make some money together. If not, maybe you at least put out some music, get you in front of people, you know, get your story out and have fun in the process. And that's kind of what my whole thing is about, you know, kind of doing it for myself and then using that as a blueprint for what other people could do. So
you've been doing music for 14 years.
Yeah, I used to play trumpet in a ska hardcore reggae band.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say trumpet for the band.
I was in the jazz band. I was in the school jazz band, actually. I was in the school jazz band, but yeah, I played in a ska reggae hardcore band, La Pobresca. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I think I have, actually.
Yeah, so they're still around. They're still doing their thing. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, I used to play with them, and you know, at the Allen Theater, we would do backyard shows. I used to work at the Allen as like a line guard concession stand person, so I was able to get my bands to play there. So yeah, I've been playing shows forever, and we got in front of some, you know, we performed at Self-Help Graphics for that Evil Core, like 2,000 people, I think. So we got to do some pretty fun stuff, but ultimately, like, I'm a horrible trumpet player. So, yeah, I'm a way better rapper, I think.
How did you get into music? At what age?
Honestly, I can trace it all the way back to kindergarten. I used to be, or even before, my mom, very religious lady, and I was in the church. She sang in the choir, so I would sing in the choir with her. So that's kind of like my first introduction was like the choir organ player was like, oh, here are the notes, you know, hit this, you know, so that whole thing. And then they sent me to private school, which is why, you know, I was able to do so much, I feel like, because of these small classrooms and extra attention. And in private school, it was like surrounded around God, so we had church, so there was a choir there, so I kind of like was in choir, or, you know, trying to match notes or be vocal for basically my whole, like, under, you know, young education. And then high school came, and I joined like the jazz ensemble, and I was in the jazz band playing trumpet, and then, you know, there weren't a lot of trumpet players back then, so the bands, like the ska bands, were all trying to recruit. So they were like, hey, you play trumpet, you're going to be the band, even though they had never heard me play before. So it was one of those things. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of great experiences. For a second, I was actually becoming a good trumpet player, but, you know, I don't really have that dedication that it like takes to be a musician. Like, even I took music theory for like 10 seconds in ELAC, and practicing by yourself and just like, you know, drone, like that dedication, I don't have that. Like, I need to be in a social environment. I like to jam with people. I like to be more freestyle sessions instead of like so technical. And so I never really got good at instruments, really. So
how did you start at MC, and who composes your beats?
So that's a funny story. So you know, when 8 Mile came out,
stories.
you know, everybody remembers 8 Mile, and, you know, like the Eminem movie, where he's rapping, battle rap. So I feel like when that movie came out, everybody wanted to be a rapper, and I was actually I used to rap at like during like lunch. We'd have little rap battles in high school, like, and we'd make fun of each other and like not very nice stuff that were said. Yeah.
Well, high school.
Huntington Park High School. Yeah, little kids, right? Mean fuckers. So that's kind of where I can remember like the first time rapping. But really, what ended up happening is when we would be hanging out as a band after the shows, we'd all just be chilling with our equipment, and the saxophone player, he would like start drumming out a beat on like the hood of a car, and we would do a cypher where everybody started rapping. And when it was my turn, like, I was actually kind of good, and people were like, whoa. And so like, the more times we did that, the more like, oh, just rap, you know. And then me and the saxophone player actually quit the band together to start DJing, and then 5 years later, he started producing his own beats. So like 80% of my music was produced by my ex DJ partner, who we used to be in a band together. So it's kind of cool. Like, we have a history, and
you still work with him.
Yeah, he still produces. We don't work so much together now because he's kind of like, he's in the process of putting together his own sound and his own project for himself finally. So I'm giving him the space to do that, but he still makes beats. He still sends me stuff. He's like, here, check this out if you want to do something with it. So like, it's like a loose relationship, but lately, because I've been so active, I've been getting a lot of beats from other places, finding people sending me stuff on the internet. So
do people send you beats and you write to the beat, or do you write and then you ask like, hey, this is what I'm gonna talk about?
No, I'm really dictated by the beat. Like the beat has an emotion, you know, it has a feel. It makes me start seeing things, and those are like the images that I see when I hear a beat. That's kind of what I end up rapping about. So like dark alleys, or walking down, like maybe I feel like I'm walking down the street in my headphones, so I'll be like, yo, I'm walking down the street in my headphones, you know, like, so that's kind of like whatever I start seeing. It's kind of like I pretend the beat is a soundtrack, and then I start writing I start describing the image that the beat is kind of showing me.
I've actually done that. I mean, obviously I'm not a music writer or composer, but I felt that from music, you know, if I was to listen to a wordless track, the music evokes places or memories or emotions.
Feelings, and so I try to really just put myself in that and just kind of write whatever comes out. Sometimes it's quicker than others, you know.
So you went from Huntington Park to San Diego, back to LA.
Yeah.
And now you stay in South LA.
Huntington Park, correct.
Oh, you're back in
yeah, I'm about to Huntington Park, yeah.
Okay. Where is your next performance within the...
I will be performing this Friday at the Redwood Room in Maywood for my monthly event called Speakeasy. It happens every second Friday. It's 21 plus. It's a dive bar. We do all the raps in the patio. I have a sick ass lineup of MCs. I'm planning to close the show out at the end. Celebrating my birthday, which is coming up this month, so I'm expecting it to be pretty wild. Patio's 420 friendly. Drink specials all night. I'm going to have my buddy DJing in the main room, so it's going to be...
Uber it?
Yeah.
Or Lyft?
Oh, please, yes. Yes, please. No DUIs, please.
Yeah, especially right now with the whole new legislation on 420. The DUIs are going to be more... I heard that we're going to be harsher if it was cannabis than alcohol, which doesn't make sense to me because it's... Well, whatever.
Prohibition.
Yeah. Anyways, so just make sure that you don't drink and dab and drive.
Yeah, no dab and drive sounds dangerous. I'll probably fall asleep.
And make sure that you take a cab there. Stay safe, please. Where can people find so obviously people can find you on Spotify, find your sound links, and then they can also find you on social media.
Right.
There's
I have my own website, so you can find me at shneaky.net. So SHNEAKY.net. All my links are there, all my music's there, music videos. I host my own radio show podcast every Monday that goes live Monday night from 8 to 9. There's a tab there called Shneaky Radio under the menu. So if you want to hear it live on Mondays, it's also on the podcast app. There's a playlist there as well. So I try to keep everything contained in my website, just so that if you don't have Facebook or if you don't have, you don't have to log in. Yeah, so if you go to the website, everything's there. I update everything myself, so if there's some out-of-date stuff, I apologize. I'm getting to it. But for the most part, yeah, all the latest and greatest on the website.
You do it yourself too, right?
Yeah, everything I do everything myself. Yeah.
Instagram?
That's the way to go. Instagram is @officialshneaky. That's @officialshneaky. And if you want to support my business, or you have any event needs coming up, I DJ, I can curate, I have all my own equipment. Let's talk. We can do some event stuff. Follow my Instagram @Shneaky ENT, Shneaky Entertainment. So, yeah.
How do you feel as a hip hop scene here in LA? I've been meeting more MCs lately through the show, and I've been to a couple of shows.
Honestly, it's thriving right now, I think, and it's there's a lot of like-minded people in the hip hop scene who are doing their own thing, and so it adds like this. It's like I have a monthly event. Darmedius and Pumpgato have their monthly event, Sela Hip Hop, and then I work with Face and Jelani at the Golden Road Pub, so in Nella, Northeast LA. They have a monthly every Wednesday hip hop. So I'm going to be there as well, hosting for my birthday on the 27th. It's the last Wednesday of every month. So like between Maywood, Huntington Park, Nella, and then they have like weekly shows at Carbon. So like there's like a really thriving hip hop scene right now, and there's a lot of MCs, and everybody's really supportive. Like they go to each other's shows. You see a lot of the same people on the same lineups because everybody's networking. So you're starting to see a lot of collaborations and music come out as well. People putting out tracks together. So I don't know if it's just because I'm in the scene that I see it so thriving, but I mean the fact that you're meeting more MCs and you're even asking about it, I guess it shows that like there's a movement happening right now. I feel like, and especially like in a really underground, independent, local level where everybody's kind of like do it yourself. Like we're throwing our own shows, we're making our own contacts. Like people are booking their own tours using Reverb Nation or whatever contacts they can. So there's like there's a lot of people that are like hustling, and it's powerful.
That is a great idea. No wonder so many people do so many tours. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
They're
man.
doing
If you don't know
tours
about
already?
Reverb Nation, like you could literally find shows all across America, and there's the technology right now. It's probably the best time. It's probably the best and the worst time to be an artist because it's like
There's so much competition.
so much access. I wouldn't say competition. I would say saturation. Like there's even as a DJ, it's impossible for me to know all the hottest songs. I always have someone come request something, and I've never heard of that. Let me write it down. I'm gonna have it next time, or let me plug up my YouTube. Find it on YouTube. I'll play it for you. So it's like there's so much music. So it's like it's great. A lot of music out there, but then it's also hard to like cut through and shine because there's a lot of music out there. Like you have a Quetzal playlist, right? How many artists are in that playlist, like how many songs are in there, and you keep adding to it. So like if someone wants to go there, how long would they have to listen before they heard a Shneaky track, even though it's all curated from, you know what I mean? So it's like,
well, I need to trim it because all I've been doing is just adding album on album on album from each one of the artists. But obviously there's very few artists that every single track is great.
right.
Where you can actually listen to the whole CD. But there's not that many. There's more artists whose are maybe like, I don't know, a few songs that really don't go with the theme, or maybe only 2 songs are great from the whole.
Right.
So
And
I
think
do need
that's
to
like-
weed those out.
I think that's a lost art form that's trying to make a comeback, like the concept album, the full like create something that's made to be listened to front to end. Like that used to be how it was done, and now, like in the age of the singles, you have a CD with a bunch of singles on it that have nothing to do with each other, right? But I almost feel like that's why the Kendrick Lamars are so great, and the J. Coles, and the people who like even people that I don't really met, like Pusha T. I haven't heard it, but I heard it's like a concise, start to finish themed album, and that's what I'm really into, coming from especially like a rock background. Like right now, one of my albums that I listen to on repeat is "Wish You Were Here," Pink Floyd, and it's just such a masterpiece to listen to it from beginning to end, and it's like not a lot of people do that anymore. So when it happens, it's like, oh, this is a good record, and so yeah.
Well, not only a good record, it's a good artist. Because
Right, that's a
obviously
good artist.
They have the writers or the composers that are putting out the big guns, in a single record, and like I said, very few of the ones that I've added, but definitely there's a lot of them anyways. I mean, we're talking about upwards of 2,000 songs that are added to that.
Right. So yeah, trim it down, buddy. Help them find Shneaky, because I know I got a lot of good songs.
Yeah, you do. Every single track that I've listened to from the Spotify selection, I've liked it. And you're one of the few. And I could mention some right now, but we're not, because we're gonna let you close out the show with your second performance.
All right.
And thank you for the information.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate
So
it.
one more thing, I've been asking all the artists that have been coming lately, advice for upcoming musicians, artists.
Be fearless, be confident. It's hard enough even when you're at 100% to get people to support you and come out to your shows and rock with you. Like even me, I've been rapping now for, I want to say 8 years now. I've been doing hip hop exclusively for 8 years, and I still do shows where no one comes, and I still rock out like if there's 100 people there. And that's kind of the mindset you have to have. Like, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to go out and go to shows, or don't be afraid to talk about your music, or be confident enough to show it to people and ask them to listen, ask for honest feedback. Try to find people who are going to give you honest feedback. Don't have a bunch of yes men in your corner like, oh, that sounds good, yeah, that's great, because at the end when you put it out, it's not going to be the best that it could be. So be fearless, be confident, put yourself out there, and try to surround yourself with people who are going to be honest with you, so that you can make good music, great music, and not just put out whatever. So it's like a good balance of be willing to put yourself out there and get ready to be denied and rejected, but also have people in your corner who are going to help you to make a very good product or a very good, a final production, so that when it does go out there, you don't get as rejected as hard.
And make sure that you support all the other artists in your network, like you support us every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Please help us share the video, comment, tag, share on it. Go to our website, LNiE S2, take to our Facebook page. On the left side of your home screen, you're going to see the video tab. If we're live, you're going to see a live icon. If we're not live, please click on the videos, watch the previous episodes, and again, share it. That's the best way that you can help us. We are taking back the spotlight for ourselves, because if we don't do it,
who's going to do it for us?
So enjoy Shneaky's performance, and we'll see you back next week, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.
Awesome.
All right, let's hope I don't mess this up. This track's called Mark of a Beast. Again, you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere else where digital media is sold.
You cannot be a beast if you never dealt with death. I've been living with people that be breathing their last breath. I've been struggling but not monetarily. Friends turn to enemies. Polarized mentality destroying my family. We surviving. People think we dying, but we just thriving. Waiting for the time when your mind's eye will awaken and be open. And be open.
If I really am a beast, it is only cause I'm blessed. If there really is a God, the devil's aiming for my chest. Angels working overtime, the wicked never rest. I dare you to ask me if I think I am the best. The answer's always yes, but it's kinda complicated. It'd be a bit more simple if I wasn't always faded. With a focus on the truth and advancing education. I'm thankful for my family for constant application. My fast-paced life kinda put me in the rut. Lucky are the homies, the ones who couldn't keep up with the drugs and booze. Fake ass us are the ones who were taking abuse that love. We get what they want, gone in the past. We girls cats, mixed with the stats. Homies that I thought were my brothers but didn't last. Females that I thought were my lovers but they just asked. Right now I'm fucking broke. One day I'll have cash and I'll look back on this time like damn.
You cannot be a beast if you never dealt with death. I've been living with people that be breathing their last breath. I've been struggling but not monetarily. Friends turn to enemies. Polarized mentality destroying my family. We surviving. People think we dying, but we just thriving. Waiting for the time when your mind's eye will awaken and be open. And be open.
Y'all feeling these flows? I hope you feel the vibes that I'm sending. This is real music, ain't no one pretending. This is the beginning, hope I never see the ending. Don't worry about those checks, they in the bank, man, they pending. Pay to play bullshit, I'm through with it. Everybody doing it. Me, I'm setting up my own shows and buying food with it. Everyone that believes, many questions, now they all see. So what's the remedy, correct the mentality. Pretty positivity is what I'm open to deep. It's just me, Shneaky the MC. Come to your studio, this is who I be. Lyrical content, yeah, it's my cheat. Whiskey and water, yeah, it's my key. BA, that's my degree. What I'm aiming for, PhD. Education, situation, handling shit makes a beat to me.
If you never dealt with death, I've been living with people that be breathing their last breath. I've been struggling but not monetarily. Friends turn to enemies. Polarized mentality destroying my family. We surviving. People think we dying, but we just thriving. Waiting for the time when your mind's eye will awaken and be open. And be open.
Mark of a Beast, y'all. My last song, it's new. It's not finished yet, but I thought if we were gonna do something, we're gonna do it here. I pack zip blocks with sheet stickers and bullets. I'm an alchemist, I've been making gold out of nothing. I'm in the studio, sex tracks are still running. Want another plane, track strap is still hunting. Thinking back to when I packed sacks, thought I was the man, time passed. County sales, wedding bells, baby cries, family ties. Trying to guess my father's eyes, to be the man in Brandon's eyes. Trying to dry my mother's eyes, and live my truth amongst the lies. Make sure you stay true, make sure you do you. Make sure nobody ever fucking use you. Life is a trip when I'm living like this. Success is the goal and I'm striving for it. To tell you the truth, been living in bliss. Chasing my dream and not giving a shit. Starting a business and using my whip. Employing my brain and flexing my wit. Expressing myself and my will and my gift. Making the life that I'm choosing to live. Forgetting traditional. Structures are fictional. Religion is ritual. Existence is spiritual. Surpassing the minimum, on a continuum. Chillin', kick back on the beat, but still riding the rhythm cut. Make sure you stay true, make sure you do you. Make sure nobody ever try to use you. Make sure you stay true, make sure you do you. Make sure nobody ever fucking use you. Thank you.